We are literally walking into the studio with a purposely vague notion of what we want to do. And between today and the end of this week, we will have turned that into a piece of choreography. Push Physical Theatre is a company of dancers, acrobats, movers, actors, and we are called Push because we literally are trying to push our bodies as far as we can. It's a difficult thing to describe a push performance. You kind of have to be there and see it. I think there's something primal about the human body moving, and there is something that connects to the deepest parts of who we are as humans when we watch each other move. The performers have the hearts of poets, and that comes out in the work as well. Push has performed at the Rochester Fringe Festival since its inception. Of course, this year is going to be unique and different and challenging. We've moved almost the entire festival online. So we are figuring out how do we communicate to that person in a way that is as connective as it would be if they had left their home and come downtown and were sitting in a theater with a couple of hundred other people. The belief is that the stories are in us, and when you move, those stories cannot help but come out. So this morning we walked into the room and we said, all right, let's just start moving.
We would improvise, doing non-traditional partnering, and then we sort of layered the story onto the choreography. In this process, the choreography and the subject matter, which is definitely about race, are very interconnected.
If you have a discussion and you start with the discussion, you start with these themes and really throw these themes into the space, the movement has now been primed with all of that information.
I started sharing my perspective as a black man and what it's like to move through this world as a black man, and that's sort of how You Know Me started happening.
There's one image where I'm in between the two of them, and it's that idea that there's this constant pressure. A lot of them pulling on me and holding me back physically, and that's sort of how it feels like to move through this world as a black man.
Because we're involved in a creative process, we are constantly pushing back on each other. So to have a set of ground rules where we have the freedom to creatively push back and challenge each other on our assumptions has been really wonderful and challenging all at the same time.
You hit that point, can I say this? Is this right? Is this wrong? And if I don't throw it out there, I can't answer it. Hey, I have friends that are! You know me.
I've seen you before.
Being able to do that has kind of freed it up slightly, but it is very scary coming to terms with racism. How have I kind of contributed to racism? What is it that I can then do, having learned that and having responded to that?
I think that people can close their ears when you say certain words. So with movement, I feel like images stick with us in a different way than words do. They'll communicate with audiences in different ways, and I feel like they're both necessary.
Push will be performing this work and other new repertory at the Rochester Fringe Festival from September 15th through the 26th. The great thing about this is you don't have to buy a ticket for a specific time. You can watch our show at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 in the afternoon. We'll be there when you're there.